We as Indians live in a hierarchical system, particularly within our families, and yes, on a societal level as well. But unfortunately, we see it in the ages of each member of the family, in the status or the position of the family. And what that means is that we treat a member of the family with much less respect than other members. So there becomes a superiority complex within the family. And as an example, children are always treated as inferior, less important, their opinions don't matter, and they are silenced when they want to share their emotion. They are silenced when they're speaking out of turn, or they're silenced when they are showing an emotion that is uncomfortable for the parents, or when they have an idea that is outside the box and would break up the system of the family, even in a positive way. It just becomes unthinkable. So what happens to the child is they grow up learning that children don't matter, their opinions don't matter, their emotions don't matter. They get criticized a lot, and so they become super self-conscious. They actually have low self-esteem, and the low self-esteem can manifest as looking like a big ego or arrogance, when in reality they are not feeling worthy enough in themselves, because they were so silenced and continually shamed for having ideas or feeling their emotions, as every child does. And then as they get older and older, they continue to have this facade of I need to be a certain way in order for myself to be accepted by the family, because this is the only way they see me. When I do this, this, and this, they see me. When I do this, this, and this, they don't see me. And I'm criticized, I'm suppressed, I'm mocked. So they put on a persona. And that's actually a lot of Indians, a lot of people around the world, but I'm talking about the Indian culture. And it happens so much amongst men and women. And so we learn to live a certain way because this is the only acceptable way. We must go and get educated, we must get certain marks, certain grades, we need to go to university potentially, we need to then get married and children, and where we're going to live, everything is determined. How we're going to progress in life and how we're going to then treat our spouse, our children, is also determined. Because what happens is you learn, this is how I was treated growing up because it's normal. I see it all around me and I've experienced it, so this is how I'm going to treat my children. They are inferior to me and they need to behave as I want them to behave, and nothing else matters. So the cycle continues, and there are other consequences of that. Sorry, you can't see my head so much. I'm going to bend down a little bit. Maybe I can just pop that up a little. So there are consequences to that mentally. Mentally, you are not really in tune with yourself. You've abandoned yourself. There's nothing about yourself that's worth coming out in your mind, because that was never accepted. And then you end up suppressing any emotion that you've ever had, any difficult feeling that nobody else could handle. You didn't learn to handle yourself, and if it does come out, it comes out in all the ugly ways that you can't probably process, and you don't even know how to label them, what to do with them. So there's a huge amount of trauma, there's a huge amount of suppressed emotions in the body. There's no processing, no labeling, no identifying, and there becomes a fear, a huge fear of your own self. You don't know who you are anymore. What was the point of you coming? Were you just supposed to go through this cycle again and again and again? And so that becomes a mental battle, and the emotional battle, you can't even begin. And then when you are not processing emotions and it's all stuck in the body, it's not flowing out. Everything is supposed to flow and move. Nothing is supposed to be stagnant ever. And when that happens and everything is stuck, you begin to feel unwell. There becomes physical symptoms. You'll feel depressed because there might be so much anger and resentment that's pent up inside you against the world, against the family members, against anything, lots of things, ideas, concepts, culture. And that anger will turn to depression, and then there's physical symptoms, illnesses, cancers, autoimmune, so many conditions that you end up with because of those suppressed emotions. And this all starts from suppression from childhood, this hierarchical system that we have within our families. And it's so prevalent, but I feel really, really sad when I constantly see it playing out in front of me again and again and again in every single family that I come across. It's awful. So really, children need to be respected equally. As much as you respect yourself, you respect them. And if you're not respecting yourself, you can't respect anyone, because you don't know what it's like to respect. So it all starts with you. And if you're struggling with you can start with your children as well, because they are human beings. They are not brought into this world for you to follow a cycle that's been repeated so many times, millions of times throughout many people's lifetimes. What's the point of that? What is the point of that repetition? Each soul has such an individual purpose, individual traits, individual characteristics to live an authentic life that's going to serve himself, herself, and everybody else. But it just becomes suppressed when we're just forced to live in this box, this hierarchical system that's so broken, and it breaks us. So we've got to break this cycle. We've got to start treating our kids with respect, listen to them, listen to their ideas, because we're here to enliven them, to encourage them, to motivate them, to help them and show them it's good to be free. You need to be free to express yourself and be who you are, so that you have fewer and fewer and fewer problems than we had. I was really keen to share that because I've seen so much trauma, so much suppression. I see even elderly women in trouble because of this system, and I would love to see a change in that.